Welcome to part 2 of why I created the Lost Fathers channel. I finished this two-parter video with my thoughts on the current situation in our beleaguered societies and the burning purpose that now drives me. Rising to a challenge might be daunting and difficult, but to do nothing is even worse. That's coming up on this episode of The Lost Fathers. It goes without saying that there's a great deal of social, political, and cultural division happening within the United States as well as other Western countries. And I imagine for many of the displaced men in our society, you would have to ask yourself, do I still have a dog in this fight? And it's a fair question to ask. I mean, would you really be that motivated to try to do something about it, to galvanize and make a stand, as it were, in order to course correct our flailing civilization? It isn't hard for me to understand if the attitude towards wanting to stand and fight would be dismissed out of hand. Because the pervading feeling amongst most men who've lost their families, lost their assets, lost their dignity, would be justified in saying, no, I do not wish to stand and fight for a society that took a gigantic dump on me. For each and every man out there that has suffered these things, quickly discover that it is only the tip of the iceberg, because all that horrible loss contributes to what is often a fatal blow to many men's pride and dignity, and worse still, an obvious out in the open overarching societal dismissiveness towards their emotional state and well-being that often results in the death of good men. I should know. I've gone through it, and frankly surprised I survived it, because I've also witnessed many who didn't. These scars run very deep, and for most never fully heal, which leads to the final conundrum. If your society cares nothing for you, then why should you care for society? That is a very tough question, and one I've asked myself so many times. One of the hardest things to overcome is the malaise one feels when you realize for the most part people don't care about you. You don't see marches for men's rights in Western countries, and if they do happen, they are often attacked or lampooned by feminists, their so-called allies, the media, politicians, and essentially ignored by the rest. There are many ways I could describe this age of man. One that comes to mind is the age of sloth and cowards. Because let's face it, most people are so distracted by the trappings of modernity that critical issues, which should matter greatly, are imperceptible to them and therefore not on the radar. Oh, and one more comes to mind. The age of fanaticism. Very apparent throughout the West, something I will discuss a great deal moving forward. The goal, it seems, is to keep men down and subservient to the hateful, misandrist, and destructive worldview of the woke. So given that atmosphere, it's safe to say the broken family court system is not looking to be reformed anytime soon, although there are a few brave souls still trying to do that. For many years, I've really tried to summarize what's been happening in the West, and the best way I can describe it is, if women are as a well from which to draw water, then that well has been poisoned. Drink from it at your own peril. So let me wrap this up. In the first part, I gave you some of my background. It actually took me a few more days than I had anticipated to come up with part 2 of why I created the Lost Fathers. But I'm glad I took the time, because this is important to me, and I know that it is to many out there as well. I mean to build something good, something for men and perhaps something for our children. Why? Because why the hell not? Now that the cheeky response is out of the way, let me drive home my real answer. Because I believe in myself, even after all I've suffered. I believe every man can be his own kind of hero, and I believe in overcoming insurmountable odds. Because I would rather die on my feet than on my knees. Because I choose to take charge of my own happiness and remind myself and others that we do not need society's approval for anything. We helped build this world. Our fathers and grandfathers spilled their blood so we could have what we have now. I owe it to them. I owe it to myself, and most importantly, I owe it to my kids. And more poignantly, because of that word that many of us men have very mixed feelings about these dark days, love. Men don't talk about love all the time. That's not our way. We show it through our actions, by setting examples, showing courage when all seems lost, and when we speak about difficult truths and impart hard-won wisdom. For we truly are the lighthouses for our species. That's it. In parting, I wanted to share this clip from Fox News. Mark Levin, a prolific author discussing his newest book, lays out an epic rant I think a great many of us would agree with. Be well, be at peace, and be strong. We need each other.
This is a timely book for this moment. Tie it together to the moment, today, what's happening in the country. That's the 6-month mark of Joe Biden.
I can't even tell you, we're almost at 500,000 books now in a relatively short period of time. I'm going to tell you what's going on. I was part of the Reagan Revolution. I was part of the Tea Party movement. I was part of the Trump Revolution. There is a massive movement afoot. It's not under the radar. People just aren't looking at it. The silent majority is not going to be silent anymore. The American people are furious with what's happening to their country. And by American people, I mean all American people who love this country, regardless of their color, their religion, their background. Red-blooded Americans. They are sick and tired of what they've seen in the first 6 months of this administration. They don't like the way they're being treated by the elites in the media. They don't like being looked down upon by these phony professors who they bring on TV who trash them. They are disgusted with the teachers' unions. Parents all over this country can't believe what's happened to elementary schools and secondary schools. Parents go broke to send their kids to college, and now they're coming home on Thanksgiving or other days, and they don't know what's happened to them. We are paying for our own demise with tenured Marxist professors and administrators for schools that are turning on our founding and our history. Americans love their history. Americans love their history, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Americans are sent all over the world to fight wars for people who do not look like them. America's borders are wide open. We have a president of the United States who is violating our immigration laws, who signs executive orders like he's Benito Mussolini. We're sick and tired of hearing from San Francisco Nancy Pelosi and New York City Chuck Schumer what they intend to do to our court system. Those courts belong to us. Attacking separation of powers and our constitutional construct. We're tired of the way the family is trashed in this country, the family. We're tired of the way private property rights are treated in this country. We're tired of a lot of things going on in this country. Now we, the people, we are peaceful. You won't find us running around with Molotov cocktails. You won't find us attacking cops. We defend the cops. You won't find us burning cities and so forth and so on. We're not mostly peaceful. We're 100% peaceful. But we are pissed off, and we have had enough, and we're done talking about it. The idea that a book like this sells 400,000 copies in 1 week and is well on the way to 500,000, I've been in these movements before. I saw what happened with Liberty and Tyranny and the Tea Party movement. We know our history. We are a great people, and we have people in this country who haven't contributed a damn thing to it, and not a damn thing to it. Trying to tear it down and redistribute wealth. They sound like they're soapbox Marxists going on and on about we don't provide this, we don't provide that, and Bernie Sanders is going to provide it, and AOC is going to provide it. They don't know a damn thing about this country. They use the the benefits of capitalism to attack capitalism. They use liberty to attack liberty. They use the Constitution to attack the Constitution. I've been around a long time, and I'll be damned if I'm going to sit still for this. And they don't understand the American people. The American people are not going to roll over and play dead. The American people are going to speak out. And let me tell you what's going to happen in 2022 with the Manchin types and the others who pretend to be moderates, who play footsies with these American Marxists. You're going to get blown out. In fact, every damn one of you is going to get blown out. So kiss your career goodbye. You may have power now. You may be trying to force your will on the American people now, but it will not last. That's what's going on in this country. I feel it and I know it. That's all I have to say.
Great.
Thank you so much for watching The Lost Fathers. You don't have to be a dad to join the channel, as the content is for everyone interested in these types of topics. We'd love to have you as part of the community, so please subscribe here on YouTube and join us on locals.com for direct engagement. Please share with others who might enjoy it as well, as these are important topics. And if you do happen to be a divorced dad or estranged father, I would love to hear from you, as I'm looking to do interviews in the future of fathers and get their real stories. Let the truth be known. In the meantime, do me a solid and hit that subscribe button. It costs nothing and helps grow this channel. Click the like button and the bell notification along with any feedback in the comment section below. And finally, links for social media, Patreon, and PayPal are in the description box. Have a peaceful and productive day, and we'll see you again.